How do we improve our theories? Can you measure it? Can you express it in figures? Can you make a model of it? If not, your theory is apt to be based more upon imagination than upon knowledge. If you cannot measure it, how can you improve it? From preparing eggs to show buoyancy, to shooting a pendulum, my goal was to have my students witness science firsthand, setting up a laboratory that would allow them to experience how critical measurements are key to creating a sound scientific theory.
William Thomson, better known as Lord Kelvin, was and is a monolithic figure in modern science. But how do we measure the impact of a man like Kelvin? We examine his life. A successful scientist, teacher, engineer, and businessman. These are many of the words used to describe a man like Thomson. To understand Thomson, let us break down his life in reverse. Thomson, during his life, was an avid inventor, creating a wide variety of scientific tools, most of which are still being used today. The first invention of major impact is Thomson-Muir galvanometer, whose use made the installation of the first transatlantic cable and allowed for faster communication between the United States and Europe. The next and most famous of his inventions is his law of thermodynamics, setting the universal temperature that is still used in science today. And lastly, the mariner's compass, still used today. This compass allowed for faster and more accurate navigation of marine waters. However, Thomson did not stop at these three. Thomson, by the end of his life, had over 70 patents. With all of these successes, it's easy to see how influential a man like Kelvin was for the scientific community. However, every budding scientist makes mistakes, and we cannot take a proper measurement of Kelvin if we don't look at his mistakes. And for Kelvin, it was one of his own measurements. In the middle of his life, William Thomson took part in a debate. This particular debate was about the age of the Earth, a figure that had long been debated. It was attempted prior by the clerics and evolutionists. It was a problem that interested a younger Thomson, with his intense desire for measurement and accuracy. Thomson tried his hand at these calculations, using his knowledge of thermodynamics, basing it on the works of men such as Leibniz, Newton, and Sadi Carnot. Using these facts, Thomson placed the age of the Earth, much to the surprise of geologists and biologists, at 20 million to 400 million years old. However, this had gone against the rock records at the time, which placed the Earth at least 4 billion years old. It would have taken decades before any developments could be made that could prove Kelvin wrong. One such study would be the study of radioactivity and carbon dating, which, examining the breakdown of elements, put the Earth at 4.6 billion years old, as well as more evidence about the study of thermodynamics that would have altered Kelvin's calculations. While admittingly Thomson was wrong on his calculations about the age of the Earth, his intentions were purely out of interest. He merely wanted to apply his knowledge to the problem, and as scientists, we will all make mistakes. William Thomson, from a young age, was highly entranced by the study of science, learning from his professor father, and was always eager to learn and eventually teach. Thomson started his career as a professor at the University of Glasgow, although he carefully prepared his first lecture, but never prepared another, as his teaching, as put by one, was always a great quest. Overall, Thomson has made a positive and long-lasting impact on science, from his long, influential inventions to his dedicated belief in accurate measurements. Lord Kelvin was truly influential.